What's up, guys? Pypo here, bringing a video to me doing some more 2v2 on my BM Hunter with the DK Larry. He's doing some good work in these games, playing with him for a little bit now, and we didn't mean to be pushing rating or anything like that. We kind of just been fucking around, but we just happened to start basically winning. We happened to start winning games, so I was like, fuck it, let's do some more games, I'll record some. I want you guys to pay a little bit of attention to where that fucking trap just landed, because that makes no fucking sense to me. I fucking hate playing a BM Hunter, or playing a Hunter in general, and going into a game, and I scatter that guy. Not only do I scatter him as he gets knocked back, or like ports or some shit, so I scatter him and he goes down there and is scattered like away from me. So I run around the pole and go to put down a trap on him, and instead of putting the trap down on him, I put it on a pole that is located on fucking Mars. I don't know how I did it, it's fucked up, it's fucking goofball City Central, it's weird. I hate that it's a thing that you can do. Like, obviously it's my fuck up. Like, I'm not saying it's not my fault. It's my fault for being a fucking scrubbed up hunter and somehow putting a trap on top of a pole. Fucking just the most ridiculous thing you can imagine. Somehow I did that. I just wish it wasn't a thing. But anyway, first game was a boomkin and an affliction warlock. We're gonna just focus on the boomkin, get him down pretty quick. Next game here is a rogue and a frost mage. Now, frost mage is actually really bad for probably both of us. Like, a frost mage can kill DK pretty easily. Frost Mage can 1v1 a Hunter if played correctly. If I play correctly, obviously, as well as a Hunter versus Mage, I can 1v1 them using poles and stuff like that. Which actually I'm going to need to use my advantage. As you see here, my DK goes down pretty quickly. I was left with a Mage at about half health and a Rogue at full health. But my crows were still on the mage, and my pet does a lot of damage as BM. So naturally, by the time I actually am in line of sight of the mage, I'm going to be already in a lot better situation. I trapped the rogue there, putting explosive trap down. That's just to knock him back even further away from me. Get the pet on the mage immediately and start using my kill commands to do as much damage as possible. That's just used basically to not... I don't want to fuck myself over. And I kind of actually poke a little too far there. I would have been better off staying behind the pole, but I know the rogue is out of the CC and he's going to get on me soon. So I just got to use basically my disengage web as a way to stay alive here, because I have no more disengages. As you see here, I do put a blind shot down just to stay alive, because I didn't need to use my trap, because I disengaged trapped him earlier. But while I was doing that, my pet actually killed the mage, so it's absolutely fine. So the game plan here, guys, when you're low health versus a rogue or versus any melee, you want to stay near a pole, you don't want to overextend, that's why I'm not going over there. I'm sending the pet in so he doesn't get a re-stealth, and I'm kind of just doing as much damage as possible, but I don't want to go to him. If you go to him, you're in a world of hurt. You don't want to do that. You want to let your passive heals do as much as possible while you just kind of wait out. I put explosive trap there, so if he goes around the pole, you'll see in a second here, he's going to get knocked the fuck out to the other side, which gets me in a better position because I'm actually in line of sight. This prompts him to use his step on me to get close to me, which is a dangerous situation to be in, but I've already got him down far enough with my pet that I'm not really in any danger whatsoever. Blind shot down on myself, so he does come over near me. He will get stunned, and that's going to allow me to kill him right there. It's just little things like that that make me really like playing BM. It's like 1v2 situations that as MM, I'm not too sure if I'll be able to pull off. This game will be a Arms Warrior and a Resto Druid, is that? Is it a Resto Druid or is it a Monk? I can't even tell from here. My eyesight is horrible, like I'm looking at a little screen. But basically the game plan here was to go the healer, because we pretty much decided that it's really a DK and a Hunter. We do have enough CC, but we don't have enough like sustainable CC. Like, I have my traps, obviously I have my interrupts. DK has his stun, but his stun's on a little bit too long of a cooldown to land consistent CC chains. So we decided it's actually better off to use our necrotics to our advantage and go on to a healer, which you'll see us do here. This is actually going to be a dangerous situation for pretty much both of us, because a warrior not being trapped or CC'd or sitting on someone is just the most dangerous thing in the world. A warrior can do out some incredible damage, but as a hunter you can obviously spec into the webs with disengage, which you want to use as much as possible, guys. Make sure you're webbing that fucking warrior as much as possible. We do get the druid down right there. We just focus on Widow's Venom plus Necrotic Strikes, a very good and a very potent combination to get down healers. We actually have had a decent actual time getting healers down with this combination, which is weird to me because it's the first twos combo that I've been able to use to my advantage to actually kill healers instead of doing CC chains and killing DPS, which I actually like. I like focusing healers. I wish it was a thing you could do more often. Then obviously we're just left with a warrior, which is no big problem. But a warrior's second one is really OP, except when they're getting the Necrotic Strike. The Necrotic Strike is one of my favorite moves to have on my team, and obviously the Death Grip there. Fucking Death Grip, DK peels, man. I am obsessed at the moment with DK peels. I love playing with a good DK that knows when to peel. A DK, obviously, Death Gripping, it's great, but at the same time, if you do it like before he charges, it's worthless. You know what I mean? But if you do it directly after a charge or something like that, it's like I actually am in love with you right now for doing it at the correct time. Game plan, obviously, this one, guys, like I said before, is to go the healer, CC the DK. This one gets a little bit more bad. I see him pop CDs there, so I'm like, I'm going to deterrence for safety here. Gonna get onto this monk. Again, you don't want to stun a monk. which is a bad situation for us to be in because it's hard for us to get a good, like, a DPS combo on him without him being able to stay alive. And monks, if you're unaware, can get from 0 to max health in like 3 seconds. I mean, they use a lot of mana doing it, but it's not that really bad for them because they get the mana back over time, and they got a good mana regen. But they can just heal to max really quick using orbs, using surging mist, stuff like that. And the whole time he's doing that, I have a DK on my ass trying to kill my face, which is just bad news bears. So you see here, I'm just basically trying to line of sight the DK around a pole while trapping him as much as I can. And again, the heal actually does a good thing for me, which is go behind the pole, allowing me to line of sight the DK and stop him from getting a death grip on me. And then when you're in a situation like this, guys, make sure you let your fucking 2's partner do some work. Do not poke out. You do not want to poke out from around the pole. You don't want to do anything. You want to you see here, I have some stuff, so like I'll poke out, put it on a bind shot. I'm going back around the pole. I'm not going to give him even the opportunity to kill me. I don't want to do that whatsoever. Even if your partner is losing, even if your 2v2 partner is losing, let him get down to half health first. Let him get down to like a fairly low situation before you poke out, because that guy's going to switch immediately and he's going to get tunnel vision. It can either be to your benefit, which means you pop out and kill him, or to your like non-benefit, which is you pop out, he switches to you immediately and kills you. You need to make sure you have some cooldowns, have some stuff before you poke out and kill yourself. And again, it's BM, it's perfect because while I'm doing nothing, my pet is still destroying his fucking face. And you can still cast kill command from behind a pole. You don't need the line of sight to be able to do it. And again, you see my DK was getting hurt a little bit, so he started pole fucking, I pole fucked. Pole fucking is basically the way to win 2s, guys. I mean, that's pretty much the way it is against DPS, is you just need to use the poles to your advantage and make sure that you're in line of sight when you need to be and out of line of sight when you want to be. And you can dodge a lot of bursts and a lot of DPS by doing that. Next combo up is a rogue and a red paladin. Pretty much any game where we versus a red paladin, our deal is always going to be go red paladin. That's pretty much it. You have to, basically, I always want to go something with off heals because I don't want those off heals doing much work. So we go in, I pop a lot of my cooldowns here to force the bubble, which happens extremely early. I'll use my bind shots and my traps to keep the rogue off me. I also have 2 deterrences, so it's not that big of a deal. And then as soon as I don't have any more deterrences, I'm going to start using the grave in the middle of the map to stop myself from taking too much damage. The whole point of me going around this grave here and not being in line of sight of the paladin is it's not as important to kill the paladin as it is to keep myself alive. As BM, again, the whole time I'm doing this, pet's doing a shitload of damage. Basically what you want to do is keep someone interested in you enough to make them stay on you while line of sighting at the same time. And then if they switch to your partner, that's when you poke out. This is specifically for double DPS combos, obviously, guys. If you're running with a healer, this is completely void. But if you're running a double DPS, that's kind of what you want. You want them to focus you at first, and as soon as they switch, that's when you poke out. That's when you poke out and do some damage. Next up is the same combo, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to put this one in as well, because we got him immediately afterwards. But it actually went in a completely different way, where we almost actually lost this. So I wanted to show you guys how playing poorly can actually fuck you up a little bit. We go in here, and it's a different map, obviously, so it means that they actually learned a little bit from our past match. And what they do here is the paladin actually runs away and tries to heal, which is actually fantastic for him. He really should be doing that. He pops burst with bubble, so immediately I know I need to get out of the situation. He pops the stun on me. I have to sit that stun because I've used my burst and I've used my trinket. Bad news for me. I should have saved one of those for that stun. I pop a deterrence off that. There's the blind, which still gets me through the deterrence, which I find is weird. I don't know if it should do that, if that's broken. Is that a thing that's supposed to happen? And you see how I'm extremely low. So my DK buddy will immediately switch to the rogue to do some peels. The peels are simply to stop me from dying. That is it. And these are the little things you need to do to keep yourself alive in a 2v2 game, especially a double DPS game. You see me, I put the bind shots down, I get the death grip heals, I use my disengage web right here to stop the rogue from getting too much damage on me. The entire time you're doing this, obviously you have your passive heals going, and the entire time I'm doing this, my pet is attacking the red paladin. So it could have gone very differently right there. We probably would have lost, to be honest with you, if my DK didn't peel, if I didn't CC the rogue with stuns, if I didn't keep my pet on the paladin. 115k fucking kill command to your face, Mr. Paladin, oh my god. That is just rough business, or I kind of feel bad for you for doing that much damage to your face. Good lord. My god. But yeah, so basically just keep that in mind, guys. If it's not going your way, it's not too hard to switch it back into your favor. It's not too hard. Next one up is a Resto Shaman and an Unholy DK. A lot of Unholy DKs we've seen today. I don't know what's going on with that. So the game plan here is basically Necrotic Strike the fuck out of the DK, Necrotic Strike the fuck out of the Shaman, sorry, and CC the DK, and do some fucking work. Keep in mind, obviously, the DK is going to do some work of his own and do a lot of damage. And the problem with being a hunter versus people like this is you're going to pole fuck. And you have to stay on their fucking ass to pole fuck. So it's very hard to keep in mind like where you need to be. But as you see here, the amount of fucking damage, the amount of damage I can put out when not being in line of sight, as well as those necrotic strikes, it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't even fucking matter. And you see here, I'm on half health, so I just want him to switch to my DK buddy, which is why I kite away, go around a pole, I wait for him to switch, and then I poke out and start doing damage. Exactly what I said before. If I get worried about anything, I go behind a pole, make them force them to switch, and then I come back out. And my DK has conversion, which is a lot better healing than I do. So just keep that in mind when you're playing with someone who has better survivability. But at the same time, if you have, say, 2 deterrences up, that's also a good time to, for instance, stay out there and do a lot of work while out there. And just be like, you have the deterrences, feel safe. Once you're running out of those, that's when you want to get behind a pole, let your partner do some work. It's a very, very different playstyle playing with a double DS compared to playing with a healer. Now, this game is a rogue and a Shaman Lord and a Resto Druid. And I hate the start of games that are like this. This is a we're both stealth, we're not going to come out for 17 years game. I hate when people do this. I don't understand even why they do it. It's like, I mean, I understand why they do it. They want to open on me, obviously. They want to know where I am. They want to make sure that they're not in a bad position, all that kind of stuff. It's the same reason I'm stealth. I'm not going to come out of stealth unless you get an open on me. But I wish this was void for some. I just hate waiting around. But I get a lucky vision on the rogue here, which means I'm going to start opening up on him, doing some damage. And I completely do that out of boredom. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have waited for my DK to open on the rogue, and I should have then gone to the druid. But I was like, fuck it, I'll open up, I'll switch to the druid. The druid does good here, and by good, I mean he lined the sights immediately, which is fantastic. I put a blind shot, trap coming down. He pops his trinket there, which is I'm absolutely fine with that, because that means I can web him later, he can't get out of it. And we get on the druid immediately. Druid does a good job of getting the fuck out of dodge and just avoiding as much damage as possible. We almost kill him right there without a tree form. We almost just blasted his face to the fucking moon and just never saw him again. But luckily he gets away past the tree form. And guys, you're never gonna kill a druid through tree form. Like if he's really low, maybe if he's on like 2%, you get a kill shot off in tree form, sure. But if he's on like quarter health, half health, and he's in tree form, your main priority now is survivability. And then once tree form is down, that's when you get back on the kill wagon. And you see me here, I trap the rogue, but I also use my disengage specifically on top of him so he gets webbed as well. You want to do certain things like that just to increase the amount of CC the rogue will be sitting in. Just little things like that would help out a lot, guys. And make sure to keep popping flares. Never, if you're versing a rogue, just keep popping flares. Just add it in, especially if you're like line of sighting or getting line of sighted. Just pop a flare wherever the fuck. It doesn't even like put it on top of yourself, put it on your buddy, put it somewhere, just to avoid the rogue getting a re-stealth, or if he does get a re-stealth, it pops him out immediately. Those flares are crucial. Do not just do it at the start of the game when versing a rogue. Do it all the time. 102k to that fucking druid's face. That's gonna get an extremely low. I get a trap down on the rogue, and then I see the fucking Mr. Druid over here. I'm like, dude, you're dead. You're so dead. And then we're just left with the rogue, which, you know, DK and Hunter versus rogue, you know who's gonna win. You know, if it was just me, I'd be winning anyway. It doesn't even matter. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day of the year. I hope I see you in the next video, and I'll see you later. See you, guys.
Oh, no, Pypo, don't do it! Come to your sentence, Pypo, no! Ah! Bless